What's going on, guys? It's Patrick, and back for another video. Today, going to be going into a little more in-depth overview of my ER diagram, and I'm also going to show what a physical ER diagram is. So, as you can see, I've made it a lot cleaner. I use colors and just kind of made it an overall more visibly pleasurable. So you can see here we have the total risk assessment for COVID-19. And so you can see there's the relationship of the patient to the location. Obviously, patients live in locations, and you can see the location, uh, all the different materials that matter are over here. And the hospital obviously resides in the location, and that's why that is related. We see that the patient also exhibits behavior. Obviously, everyone has their own sort of emotions and uh, physical cues, and you can see like their actions would obviously affect the risk of COVID-19. And obviously, some people do have a job, and depending on where you are in that job or what kind of healthcare the job can provide, it can all account for the total risk. And here we have what is called a physical ER diagram. Now, this diagram is essentially a it's essentially the same thing of what I had just shown you, but it's not as user friendly. Um, so you can see here, like the patient, for example, the primary key is the patient ID. Each of my entities have a primary key. Location has the zip code, hospital has the hospital ID, occupation ID, and behavior ID. Now, next to it, you can see int. INT means integer. And basically, each of these IDs will be a number. And null versus not null is whether it's empty or not empty. Null means it's an empty space, not null means an unempty space. So you can see here gender, for example. A string is a word. Gender, obviously, be male or female. Age is obviously an integer. Here in behavior, this one's interesting because we have the Boolean. And the Boolean essentially means true or false. It's more like yes or no. So, are they partying? Yes or no. Is that true or false? Are they traveling, exercise, social distancing, or wearing a mask? All these obviously can account for the risk that the patient would be exhibiting. And you can see here all these are either integers, strings, or booleans, and they're variously labeled null or not null. Now the FK here stands for foreign key, and because the patient has this relationship with the behavior, the occupation, and the location, that essentially is an attribute of the patient, so we consider that a foreign key because the patient does have this kind of relationship with each of them. And the reason I don't include uh, whether it's null or not null is because if you look at the primary key, you can already tell. Um, and aside from that, that's uh, that's about all I have for today. I do quickly want to say that check out this college in Michigan, um, Albion College. I talk about it in my blog post, but basically, it's with everything going on, colleges are trying to figure out how to keep us safe and what's the best way to do that. And this app would basically allow the college to know your exact location at all times. And I go into more detail in the blog, but why don't you if you want to leave a response on the blog, see what your take is on this and whether or not you think it is ethical. That'd be pretty cool. But that's about it for today, guys. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.